Okay, we love. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to Midweek Racing, Race 7, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, joined by a familiar voice, Ati. How are you tonight?
Great. What a race we had last weekend. Let's hope the guys put on a similar show tonight. Awesome to commentate when the guys challenge each other and keep it clean.
Canada's always an entertaining one.
Yeah, how many victims is the Wall of Champions gonna claim tonight?
Hopefully there's no fake tornado at the end of that Wall of Champions.
Or swirling tire or falling over
That could really make things interesting.
Yeah.
Got Morris out on circuit, first man out on circuit, he's in the Williams.
I was just thinking where's Steph, but I see he's on his outlap also. He's the guy with the fastest draw. Huh?
There we go. He's also there on his outlap in the racing point. I got it right this time. I'm getting better.
Eventually.
It's taken about three races.
The milkshake vans officially now racing point.
Oh, but I still had to think about it before I said it. It wasn't just natural.
Yeah, looks quite gloomy, eh? Normal Canada weather day. Is this now a bright sunny day in Canada? Or...
No, let's hope not. Let's hope we don't see... I don't know. Do you want to see interesting weather? It's an interesting track. Plus interesting weather can all become a handful. Go back to Morris, was the first man out on circuit. So he should be the first man to record a lap time. Let's not do that, I can hear myself. Okay, right. Let's put some info on the screen for you. No lap times as of yet. Notice that Doom Hammer, he's on a set of mediums in Q1. This weather does look a touch dodgy.
Yeah.
Morris now over the line. First man to set a lap time. He goes over, he sets a 1:10.8. That's your benchmark. Now let's have a look at Savvy. Where is Savvy? There he is. I think he'll be the next man over the line. Missed that. Connor Young went faster. 109.8. So already a difference of a second there between the top two. Connor Young showing early pace there in the McLaren. So far 3 lap times have been set. Lap times of Connor, Morris and Ronald. Nothing close in those lap times. Now Angry Wolf going over the line, closing that gap at the front slightly. 110.3. Where is Doomhammer? No lap time as of yet. Begins the journey up Casino Straight, where he's going to be met with quite a harsh chicane, and at the end of it you've got to remember to stay away from the wall. He decides to come in, doesn't set a lap time on that set of mediums. Obviously not happy with something. Got the Renault on screen currently, Avalash. He's on a fast lap, but now he's encountering a bit of traffic. It's his teammate up ahead of him. What is the problem with Q1? When you do have a rather full lineup, you're going to encounter traffic. Avalash goes 5th with a 1:12.7. I think he's got a lot more than that. We saw he got tangled with some traffic a few times. So definitely not his best lap. Now we ride on board with Devon, Toro Rosso driver. Still looking for his first lap time, currently on an out lap. In the meantime we missed it, but I was just about to say, Staffy went 3rd. He's just been passed by his teammate. Nothing in it really, just a 100th of a second. Nothing in it at Racing Point. Where is the judge? Judge heads down the main straight. He's going to go over the line to set his first lap time. That'll put him 9th, a 1:15.9. Obviously still a work in progress, that lap. Devon in sector 1 of his fast lap. Neuraider goes over the line. He goes 7th with a 1:10.9, so just getting into the 1:10s. Where is Devon? He's in sector 2. Duxter still in the garage. He has not set a lap time. That is your championship leader. But Sniffalizers currently no lap time set. That's the other Renault, teammate of Avalash. Got the Ferrari of Jacques, sector 2, looking for his first fast lap. And then no activity in the pit lane from Villandel. So still a lot of guys need to set their lap times.
Hey, sorry I broke away there, had an urgent call to attend to. But yeah, see a few guys, Connor Young, sitting high and mighty there on the top.
Yeah, he said that he was second
for a win.
I think he was second man over the line. So he set that pretty early on and set the benchmark.
Yeah, he's been hugely underachieving.
I think what he needs is a pole position and just to get away from everyone at the start. Yeah. Seems to get involved in fights that are not his and lands up with bad luck.
He's normally not a driver that has big issues overtaking. He normally pulls off a few brilliant ones, but as you mentioned, also sometimes ends up having some small contact. That's normally then the end of it.
We're riding on board with Haas driver, the judge. Currently 13th. Is he going to try and improve? No, he doesn't. He's slowing down, entering the pits. But that lap from Doom, that's on a set of mediums. Don't know why he's using the mediums in Q1. Still no lap from Duxter. Still no lap from the second Renault Sniffalaga. As I say that, he comes out of the pits and he will begin his outlap. And Villandel sitting in the pits. What appears to be till the end of the session. I've seen him do that a few times.
Yeah, he normally leaves it to the last. Not really necessary in Q1, but well,
Connor
works
Young.
for you. It works for you.
Gonna go over the line. Don't know what happened there. Did not improve. Doesn't really need to. I think that 109.8 is safe. Only one driver should be eliminated into Q2. We have Jacques out on circuit currently in 8th, 111.2. Pretty sure this is an in-lap, or he's out there on some very old softs.
Yeah, he's also a driver, a current defending champion, but also hasn't won a race. Sort of ends up top 3, top 4. Also desperately in need of a top step.
Needs a full haul of 25 points. Nothing from Doomhammer still in the pits. Let's have a look. Where is Sniffalizer? Sniffalizer now up. Oof. Runs a bit wide there. Almost hit the wall on the outside of that hairpin. Not the best exit to have. Going up this straight, you really need to get the best exit possible. Here we go, Wall of Champions, no problems there. He'll go over the line. This should be his first lap. No. Well, it hasn't recorded. And Villandel is out on circuit. So we should see a lap time from him shortly. Oof. Almost contact between Villandel and Connor Young. Connor slowing down and Villandel getting awfully close. Angry Wolf currently in second. That time of 110.3. And I'm sure all of these guys are holding back quite a bit. Yeah, in Q1. I think these times will come down considerably.
They're still feeling their way and just testing the track out. Sometimes you get a different feeling when you're in the time trial mode to actual race day conditions. So always a good idea to use this as a free practice session.
Some of the guys getting home late or traffic or whatever, this is their little practice session. It's Q1. Just get a feel for things. Safi has retired from the session. Was in the pits when he did that, so I assume he's just happy with his time.
Yeah, look, he's been posting 109s all over the Midweek Racing group. So he's been on time trials. He doesn't need any more practice. He's dialed in.
No, definitely quick driver this season. I've seen it across multiple leagues. It's a bit of a rival for me in qualifying, but unfortunately my race pace still needs to be worked on. But in qualifying we're pretty close. Landel, that was a 1:11.4. It's good enough for 11th. Everyone said a lap time? Yes.
Yeah, Sniffalizer put a lap in and he kicked Judgy out, but Judgy strikes back.
Judge goes now with a 1:12.1. It's a pretty big gap. Sniffalizer is in the pits, so he's gonna have to come out of the pits pretty quickly if he's gonna react to it. Because at the moment he will be the one to be eliminated and take no further part in qualifying.
I think he's worked out his options. He still has to serve a Q2 quali ban, so you know, whether
I
he
see.
goes through, whether he doesn't, 16th is the best he's gonna get. So, well, 15th, mind you. So,
Yeah.
so not a lot in it. I'm not even sure if he's gonna attempt a better run.
Let's have a look at, I was going to say Angry Wolf, but as I got to him, he pulled into the pits. So I think everyone's pretty much happy with that.
Yeah, we
Can't
got
see
Valando
anyone.
in this outfit.
Also got Avalash in Sector 2, currently in 13th. Currently the only Renault going through to Q2. Why did I think there was 2 Renaults? Well, that's weird, I've never seen that before. When I select the names, I can only use the one button. If I try to go down, it just jumps back up. Full of surprises. Full of surprises. I've been doing this a while and I haven't seen that. Yeah, I can't select. I can't select the one way it like jumps. Okay, well now it's
F1
working,
is the
but
gift that keeps on giving.
yeah, I see something that's been quite prevalent in this game recently is that sound. I don't know what to call it. The sound glitch. Sort of lasts for one session, and used to hear about it and every now and then, but I've actually seen a few people get it in the past few weeks, so I don't know what that's all about. I got it in
I'm quite
Q2.
surprised. Codemasters has sort of gone quiet a bit on the patch mode.
I wonder if, yeah, we haven't had a patch in quite some time, and the last one was to fix the helicopter.
Yeah, look,
Not that concerned
never
about the
knew it was
helicopter.
an issue, but
Not
yeah,
that concerned about the helicopter.
sometimes you can just smile when you see the patch notes and what gets prioritized. Some oaks say, look, it's not, it's actually what's the easiest to fix.
So that is the end of Q1. Still have a few cars out on circuit. Still got Avalash out on circuit, 13th at the moment. But he's done 4 laps on those set of softs, so pretty sure this is an in-lap.
Sniffleizer meets up with the Wall of Champions, gives him a proper bump. Means he's not gonna go through to Q2. So he's giving it one more go, but I don't know if it's gonna work. He's got almost zip ERS available. Let's see if I can trust the spectator mode.
Actually watching Judge. He's out on a lap, but okay, that's classified. I think everyone's done. There we go. So there was Q1. Connor Young, fastest in the session with a 109.6. Duxfer at the end there, also getting into the 109s, 109.9 for Red Bull. Then Angry Wolf third, Ronald, Staffy, Morris, Savage, Neuraider, Jacques, and Doom. Then 11th, Philandel, Devon, Avalash, Cowboy, and Judge. And then Sniffleizer, like you say, he was getting a penalty, so could really have only made up one position. Probably decided to start from the back.
Yeah, not always such a bad prospect to start at the back.
Especially at this circuit, it's got that sort of like China, you know, that it's not just turn one, it's like a series of corners that make up that first.
And the mad dash to the chicane.
You know, there's a little complex of corners there, and it's not about getting through one corner. It's you get your line wrong and you enter into the second corner incorrectly and you bump this one. It's not a good place to be if you're like 8th or 9th in that crowd. So let's see, we've already got some drivers out on circuit. Morris again, first one out on circuit. So maybe trying to beat Staffy to that. Staffy actually getting out pretty late.
Yeah.
According to his standards. I mean, 4 guys got out before him.
Yeah, that's almost unheard of.
That's the highlight of the race so far. So everyone currently on warm-up laps, getting some heat into the tyres. We've got quite a mixture here in strategy. Few guys on mediums, few guys on softs. Pretty much 50-50.
Yeah, look, I think some of them is gambling on. I've heard rumors in the paddocks that there's some rain predicted somewhere in the race. So and it's gonna play. You know, are you gonna stretch those tires to the rain? Are you gonna go too short, soft stints, and then the rain? It's gonna be yeah, couple of different strategies in this race. Oh, and Staffy, that has to be a crash.
I see that. That's at is that at the Wall of Champions? I just saw it in the background, unfortunately, from the Ferrari. I was on Jacques' car. So Staffy does not set a lap, which means he will start this race from 15th. Who knows, maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Doomhammer currently in Sector 2 looking for his first see Boucher putting up a whole bunch of laughing faces there. What's so funny? Don't I hope you're not laughing at retirement.
Yeah, I can confirm. The staff man, he's not too happy with the Wall of Champions.
So the Wall of Champions continues to claim victims,
even in qualifying.
Ati, you won't believe it. We were talking about the sound glitch. I have the sound glitch for Q2. So I apologize if you're watching this back home. All you can hear is our voices and the announcer and the crowd if they cheer for something.
Masters.
Good times. I mentioned it in Q1 and here it is.
You brought it on to yourself.
Here's an example, and if you're in the car doing this, trust me, you can't hear your gears. You can't hear anything. It's terrible.
Well, yeah, just to joke about it, but I'm now at the point where I'm almost getting used to driving without sound. At first, it was undrivable for me, but you know, once you've done it 4 or 5 times, you somehow lose a second, but you can still manage.
Let's have a look now. Connor Young in sector 3. He goes, just misses all the champions, uses all of the track that he can. Oof. Was that invalidated? I'm not sure. That no lap time recorded, but he attacked that final chicane like it was a fast lap. So obviously giving it everything on this lap. Wanted to get the best possible run off that straight. He's going to get a bit of traffic. No problem there. Renault gets out of the way. Very nice.
Yeah. See the middle mid-tens, 110, 500 for a medium, not too shabby.
Connor now going around the hairpin, nicely done, gets a nice exit. Now goes up Casino Straight. Such a vital part of the circuit. If you don't get a good exit off that hairpin, oof, he's decided against it. Maybe not happy with those mediums. Looked like a pretty good lap to me. I wouldn't have backed out of that lap if it was my lap. I would have been pretty happy with that.
I always like to try and get a banker time in.
Let's go around now. No lap time as of yet. Duxter. He's on an out lap. He's your championship leader. And by quite some margin.
Yeah, he's really been dominating this season. Not really been challenged all along. Seem to be able to finish top 2, top 3. No one's got answers against his race pace.
Duxter has amassed 122 points. And then we got a really tight battle for second with Shark and Ronald, both on 68. So, but as far as the lead goes, that's quite a lead he's gathered.
Yeah, we spoke about it the previous race. That was really the point where the guys had to step up and try and make a big attempt at hauling that in, and the guys not really capitalizing. Duxter still ended up third position, if I recall correctly. So, yeah, I think that boat has almost sailed now for the top spot.
Staffy just confirming there on the YouTube comments. Rain in the race. Does he know when? Staff, when? Do you know when? Is it at the end, in the middle?
I've heard some rumors that it looks like middle or end section.
Thing is, at least if you get a wet start, you get you don't have to worry about tires anymore in qualifying. You know, you go for the fastest tire and you do what you can.
Duxter, and as we speak, Duxter 110.1.
110.1. We're not quite seeing the times we saw in Q1 just yet. Let's see now, Connor Young. He's still finishing up on that outlap. He will start his fast lap now. Enters into that first sequence of corners. He heads off. Let's keep our eyes on him. Angry Wolf, second for the time being. Oof, a little bit of damage there. What was that? That was his end plate. Right hand side end plate. So, not really the track you want to lose downforce at, even if it's an end plate. Just don't have that same confidence going into some of these chicanes. Don't want to hit the curbs as hard. And we might find that at the end of this straight, he comes in again.
Yeah, this is not a good qualifying session for him. He's smart money for me is back into the pits again. Fix that.
Go into the pits while there's time and get out there. There we go. That's what he's doing. He's coming into the pits. So no lap time as of yet for the man that was fastest in Q1, struggling to get a time on the board in Q2.
Devin Ali's coming through the wall, and he also gives it a little nudge. It costed him probably half a second. Let's see. Yeah, 112,700.
So just having a look here, Staffy saying light rain starting in the middle of the race. So I presume could go to the end of the race on Inters.
Yeah, hence the Oaks opting for the mediums, trying to stretch it all the way to the Inters phase, and then from there probably finish the race off.
Devin hitting the wall there on the outside. I think the guys that start on softs, they're gonna have to pit pretty early, and the guys that go out on mediums maybe can just stretch it until the Inters.
Yeah, currently only Doomhammer and Devon still on the softs. I don't know if the guys has all now worked out and said, look, softs not gonna be worth it.
Connor Young on an outlap yet again. Probably be his final attempt. Got to get it right this time.
On board there with the judge, he's also now trying to set up a lap time. Coming through the last chicane.
That was an outlap.
That was the out.
Sometimes the guys go so aggressive into that final chicane. I think they're gunning it for a fast lap, and they're not. Here we go. Let's have a look. Where is Connor Young? He's going over the line now to begin his fast lap. Judge is in sector 2. These two both looking to set lap times. The only two men in the session without a lap time, obviously besides Steph. He wasn't able to get that far. So coming to the wall of champions. Which can actually be taken as a compliment. Some pretty good drivers have hit that wall, hence the name.
Yeah, well, if you gotta hit that wall, do it in qualis.
Okay, now Judge going a little bit wider, but there we go, 112.7.5. Not going to be good enough for Q1. Don't know how much fuel he's got in, if he can go for a second run. But let's have a look at Connor Young. We join him now as he comes out of the Wall of Champions. He's going to set a lap time, goes second, 110.3. Still not his Q1 pace, but obviously now on that set of mediums. I think definitely see 109s in Q3 when they put on those softs.
Yeah, on board now with Doomhammer. He's trying to get into that top 10. He's currently P11. Probably the last man out to try and just get into that coveted top 10 spot.
Get into the top 10, he's going to have to get past at least Avalash, and that's going to be half a second away. So he needs to find half a second on his personal best if he's going to improve.
He has slapped on the soft, so he's got the right tires to try this.
Could get that Williams up into the top 10. Gonna give it everything. See how he gets the exit here. Nicely done.
Yeah.
He's gonna put on the ERS up into 5. DRS activated. And now this Wall of Champions, hold your breath. No problem there.
It's done, perfect. Let's see.
Goes over the line, and can he get into the top 10? He does. Needed to find half a second, found 7/10. Very nicely done. Giving it everything till the end there, and just creeping into Q3. Let's see, is there anyone else still on circuit? And there we go, that's the end of Q2 confirmation with my sound returning. As I'm sure you can hear. Wow, what a weird game. I actually saw that happen to someone in the race the other day, and it started randomly on lap 3. And it just continued till the end of the race. Well, there we go. End of Q2. Dixter on provisional pole so far. Connor Young in second. Neuraider third. Angry Wolf fourth. Shark in fifth. Ronald sixth for Racing Point. Savage in seventh. Landell eighth. Morris ninth. And then Doom in 10th. And then Avalash, Cowboy, Devon, Judge, and Staffy eliminated.
Yeah, on to Q3.
Staffy asking a question, I'll just direct it at you. You're more professional. How hard is this track on tires, commentators? I'll just direct it at you. How do you think? How far do you think the guys that actually qualified on softs are going to get into the race? I think you there. Not quite sure. Can't hear Ati. Just let me know if you can hear me. The start of Q3. Everyone out on their outlap, all 10 cars out on circuit. Let's hope we don't have a repeat of something we saw on Saturday afternoon. Everyone just getting all muddled up, nobody getting over the line. Thanks, Steph. Sure, there we go. I can hear something. Like I say, everyone out on their outlap simultaneously, all 10 cars. Ronald will be the first man over the line to start his quick lap.
That's the Racing Points, traditionally the quickest out of the blocks.
Ati is back, that's right. So Ati, there was a question earlier that I decided to direct at you. How hard are the tires on this circuit? I mean, how bad is this circuit on tires? How far do you think the guys will get into the race, the guys that qualified on softs?
I'm confident the Oaks can stretch it until the rain comes.
On the mediums.
Not that hard on, yes.
But the guys who started on softs, they'll obviously have to come in.
They'll have to slap on another set of softs and make it work for them. No
So we're
point
getting
then
some lap
going-
times now. Look at that. 110.000, and it's beaten by Duxter. Where did that come from? A 19.4. That is a quick
Amazing.
time. Look at that time by Ronald, the
Jackie.
110.0.
Jackie, Wall of Champions, claims his second victim of the evening. That Ferrari was firmly planted into the wall.
Look at those times in the 110s. You've got from second down to sixth, 5 drivers, all within a second. Nicely done, Ronald. Look at the time between second and third. That's
Oh,
that's 1/100th of a second. That is insane. Don't be lazy like Ted Kravitz and call everything a millisecond. That's actually really annoying. It's 100th of a second. Angry Wolf yet to set a lap time. Noi Raider and Verlandel all need to set lap times. See what Angry Wolf does here. He backs out of a lap, so no lap time for him as of yet. 7 minutes remaining on the clock, so needs to get into the pits, change what he needs to change, and get out there. He doesn't have much time.
On board with Noah Raider. He's the next one that's due to set a lap time, but still on his out lap.
Stop correcting me, you're supposed to be driving. Go and practice or something. Those times there in the top 6 really impressive, but Duxter over half a second advantage. Now Doomhammer seems to also be coming into the pits. Let's have a look. Where is Noi Raider? Let's bring some details up on screen. Everything looking pretty bare. Currently in sector 2, looking for his first lap time of the session. Yet to set a lap time, as is Angry Wolf. Yet to set a lap time. He's on an out lap. Where is Verlandel? Verlandel's in sector 3. He's now gonna enter. There we go. Goes over the line. And that's a 110.8. Let's have a look. Noi Raider. Now he'll come over the line as well. And that's a 110.0. So look at that. Look at second, third, and fourth.
Yeah, that's very, very close.
Still waiting for Angry Wolf, yet to set a lap time. Only man yet to set a lap time. Obviously we lost Jacques in the Ferrari early on in the session before he could set a lap time. So now we just wait for the Mercedes of Angry Wolf to get over the line. Morris out on what seems to be another lap. Currently 5th with a 110.6.
Oh, Connor Young, 109.569. Almost kicks Duxter off the top stand.
Nothing in it there at the top, and then look at that. Another 109, 109.7 for Angry Wolf. So the Merc driver leaving it for late. But now we're seeing 109s. Guys leaving it for the end. Leaf Steph is here in the stream supporting his teammate. Go team, Racing Point. That's still a very impressive lap time. Might not be a 109, but it's not far off it. It's currently on an out lap. Actually also have Weather here, making an appearance. Hello Weather. Savage currently a 110.7. 8th place. The only running Ferrari.
Yeah, the Ferrari's not dominating on this track. Hey, they're really struggling. I think something on the setup.
Do you know that at Maranello, outside Enzo Ferrari's office, every time Ferrari wins a race in a season, they raise a flag. So there should be 2 flags there, right? There's 3. There is a flag there for Canada. They raised the flag for Canada and they don't care. Have a look now, just 1 minute remaining. We've got Morris coming out of the pits. I'm not quite sure why. He's not going to have enough time to get around. Guys getting over the line now. They will be able to do 1 more lap, leaving it right till the end. Neuraider right in the bunch of them. Let's have a look. Where is Ronald? He gets over the line with 30 seconds remaining on the clock. So he can have 1 more go at it. Currently 110.0. I see Weather saying hello there in the stream.
Hey Weza, great to have you there on the stream. I see there's a couple of viewers tonight. Missing you on track. Oh, Moses cutting that Wolf Champion chicane hard.
Goes over the line, no improvement. Let's have a look now. Neuraider, he was out on the lap. Look at that.
9035.
Neuraider improved, and we didn't even notice because of that lap from Duxler. But Neuraider 109.62. Look at that. Oof. Half a second in the front.
Oh, and Ronald puts 1 up on Angry Wolf, moves into 4th.
Also becoming a member of that 109 club.
Let's see what Valendo can put together. I think he's the last man out.
Currently in sector
No,
Oh,
he backs out.
backs out of it. He was up in Sector 2, not sure why he backed out of it, but there we go. That is the end of qualifying. And have an interesting race ahead of us. So there's your results in Q3. Obviously Duxter taking pole position with that 190. Fantastic lap time off a second back. Connor Young in second. Then nothing in it really between Neuraider, Ronald, Angry Wolf and Doom. That's your top six. Then you have Morris, Savage Moses, Landel and Jacques in 10th. He wasn't able to set a lap. He retired at the beginning of Q3. And our second victim of the weekend for the Wall of Champions. Let's hope they limit them to qualifying. We don't need to see any of those in the race. Right, race time. Good luck, Steph. Enjoy. Yeah, the start's gonna be interesting. Obviously, like I said earlier on, it's not one of those tracks you just got to worry about getting through turn one. Sure, it's turn one and turn two, but there's a whole complex of corners, and if you mess up turn one, you're gonna mess up turn two and turn three, and it's a long chain of events. And when you're surrounded by cars, it's never a good thing.
Yeah, very tricky sector one.
So obviously Staffy will be starting in 15th because he managed to get into Q2 and did the same thing as Jacques in Q3. He had an altercation with the Wall of Champions and wasn't able to set a lap time, so he'll be starting from 15th, and Sniffalizer 16th with his quali ban.
Yeah, I'm very, very honest that positioning on the track is not a bad thing on this race. This first left, right, and dash to the chicane is
Definitely
notorious for ending a couple of Oaks' front wings.
We'll tell Steph to look at the positive side of that 15th place. You know, just get a good look at everything that's happening in front of you, and if anything does happen, it's bound to, then just make sure you get around it. I've actually become quite good at that. Stopping most of my races from the back. But quite good at dodging carnage. I need to crash all by myself up the road. But it's fun while it lasts.
Yeah, and if I can believe this summary, we got Doomhammer on softs.
So you got
up in P6, Abilach,
4 naughties there
Cowboy,
on the grid.
Devon, and Sniffalizer. So 5 drivers on the softs. Gambling and hoping the rain's gonna come early.
Well, just getting a late comment there from Staff just before the race begins. Jeff saying rain is imminent, so that's not good to hear. Here we go. We're gonna wait for the 5 red lights, then you're gonna get it when they go off.
And off they go.
Nicely done, Duxter covering his line immediately into turn 1. Just immediately go down the field, see if there's anything. Everyone's seeming to get through there pretty nicely.
Yeah.
Going back through the field. I saw a bit of carbon fiber flying across the screen, not sure where that came from. Taffy already made up 2 positions, he's up into 13th.
Avilach having difficulties, he had a little bit of contact with someone else and then missed the chicane's corner. So he's down to 15th.
Another one of those guys that in the few races I've commentated on, I've seen him work his way up the order and then just make that mistake or two that also bad luck. Staffy up into 13th for the time being.
Stuffed up his front wing a bit.
Shark has made up 1 place, he's up into 9th. Landel lost a place, he's down into 10th. And I can tell you that the top 8 remain as they started. Duxter leads from Connor Young from Noy Raider. That's your top 3. Then you've got Ronald in 4th, Angry Wolf 5th, Doomhammer 6th, Morris 7th, and then he's followed by the 2 Ferraris of Savage Moses and Jar. And then Landel making up your top 10.
Yeah, Connor and Pa staying on the back of Duxter. 0.8 separating the 3 of them.
Avalash now, he will come out of the pits, he will be in last place, getting a wing change. So he was a casualty of lap 1.
Yeah, he just got the car in the wrong position, had a little bit of front wing damage, unnerved the car.
Connor Young now coming up on Duxter.
Oh, making an awesome pass from the inside.
Nicely done up the inside. Obviously just lap 2, so no DRS to worry about for now, but the slipstream on this straight gonna be about the braking.
Could be that Duxter's running a lower wing.
Here we go, he manages to get past him, and that's without DRS. So when he does get DRS later on in the race.
Yeah, by the looks of it, oh, and Duxter loses it, he leaves the braking too late.
He's gone over the chicane, he's given up the position.
Oh,
and
he gets himself a 5-second penalty for that. The game registered it as a huge corner cut.
So 5-second penalty, and he's given up track position. So now Connor Young in the lead of the race. We said this was exactly what he needed. We spoke about it in qualifying. And
yeah, Duxter completely missing his braking point. I think he felt so much under pressure from Connor Young that he just left it for too late.
Yeah, I don't want to speak too soon, but do you see any raindrops?
I just saw two. Yes.
There we go. I just saw a flash across my screen, and it's usually followed by a very slight frame rate drop. And then I know, there we go. Yep. The rain is beginning to come down, but this is actually a lot earlier than expected. I think if they had known this, they would have started on softs. Everyone's starting on mediums, obviously expecting the rain to come at a much later stage. Ooh, getting close here.
Connor Young again. Same place where he lost it, he overtook him, but he ate a bit of grass in doing so. He's definitely running a lower wing, I can confirm on that. Long back straight, he's got much more top speed on Connor.
Connor Young taking a lot of curb there. He's going to want to be careful. Last thing he wants to do is get penalties. At the moment he's in the advantage. Duxter may be leading the race, but he's got that 5-second penalty. So if you can stay close to him, he doesn't even need to pass him, he just needs to stay close.
That's it, and also if the rain that's incoming, Noah Ryder making a pass on the inside, but Connor's got the... but he's still being challenged by Noah Ryder.
Interesting, how long is this rain going to have to fall until the track is ready?
What I wanted to say is Connor Young clearly running a little bit more front wing, so that's gonna help him in his raining conditions. Oh, awesome turn on the inside on the Duxter.
You notice he's got that extra downforce when it gets to the tighter parts of the circuit, and then on the straight, just obviously losing it all. Connor Young now, I spoke about it earlier, just needed to be careful. Could lose that advantage. Got a 3-second penalty, and that now advantage of 5 seconds is down to 2.
Oh, and Noah Ryder makes an awesome pass on Duxter, unsuspecting.
If you were
Freeway
watching on
battle,
YouTube, you got a brilliant shot of that pass.
Yep.
Because we were on Connor Young, and it was on the reverse cam. And, yeah, he just swept up the inside. It was a fantastic pass. I was more worried about him losing it on the exit.
I didn't see that coming. But look at the DRS, look at the strength here on Connor Young. Definitely
Maybe
downforce.
now the guys running less downforce starting to feel the effects of the rain earlier than the guys that went with more. Should be able to defend his position. No, he's not. Look at that, he's up the inside, and Neuraider takes the lead of this race. And he seems to be the man that has adapted to these odd conditions the best. Angry Wolf now picking up the 3-second time penalty. So second, third and fourth have all picked up penalties in this race.
Yeah, guys will need to be very careful, especially that chicane slightly corner cutting on your right hand side is gonna get you a 3-second now.
Neuraider leads this race by just under half, well now by half a second. And the next couple of laps are going to be very interesting. How much longer can they go on these tyres until they become a problem? Luckily for these guys in the front, something we haven't spoken about at all is they're all different manufacturers, they're all different teams, but if you found yourself in this position, second and third, let's say, with your teammate, that would be a tough one, because somebody's going in for inters and someone's queuing or having a terrible lap.
Yeah.
So they'll want to be close to your teammate in this situation.
Meanwhile, the Wolf is 1.6 seconds back from this freeway battle up front and having to contend with Ronald half a second behind him.
We're just saying great racing it is. These three at the front, they have each had a turn to lead the race. And now just the advantage up to 7/10 of a second, bigger than we've seen it. So Neuraider enjoying the conditions. Staffy has made up 4 positions while we've been watching this battle. He's up to 11th. And another thing to remember is this list could change very much when the rain really starts coming down. Like, my game has improved in the dry, but in the wet, my game is still exactly the same. Just watch me in any rain race. So there's a few of the guys that obviously don't practice as much in the rain, and it's going to show.
Yeah, you definitely have a few rain experts.
We've had a lot of rain lately.
Almost to the point of they almost prefer rain. Now for a fact I'm not one of them, but yeah.
Happy has never been a fan of the rain. Back in F1 2017 we used to argue because he used to switch off the rain in lobby.
Yeah, what can I say? I'm a Free State boy too. You're not used to rain.
Let's have a look at the front. Neuraider still leading this race. We follow him into that chicane. Yes, going around the Wall of Champions. So still no pit stop there at the front. We have a...
Devin Alice has slipped on Inters, so he's made an early move. Not sure that's the right one yet, but as we speak, Connor Young, he slips on Inters.
Connor Young, the first of our really quick drivers to attempt this, he's gone out onto intermediates. Gonna have to watch his lap times. Surely Neuraider and Duxter will react on the very next lap. Let's have a look right now. Doom is in 6th, Connor Young in 7th. That gap 4.4 seconds, so we'll monitor it, see if it's getting bigger, see if it's getting smaller.
How do you get yourself a 10-second penalty for corner cutting?
That would probably involve either jumping that entire first section of corners or
as we speak, he
jumping the chicane. I don't know. 10 seconds? Devon becomes your first DNF.
Yeah, that Valandel has just overtaken Connor, and this Inters, I don't think it's the right move yet, to be very honest.
I said earlier, let's watch Connor Young's lap, and I said that he had a gap of 4.4 seconds. That gap of 4.4 seconds was quickly closed, and now Valandel almost a second up the road. So, losing time. Steffi's still holding on to mediums. Still holding on to his mediums, and he's swept past Connor Young.
Yeah, Connor has also lost it on that first corner. He ate some grass, so these Inters are not yet the best to be on.
Inter's not getting the temperature range that they want to be in, and it's unfortunate he'll be slipping back for the rest of the lap, and there's not much he can do. You can't exactly come in at the end of the lap and put on slicks. You just got to stay out there until the time is right. Let's have a look. Where are your leaders?
Oh,
do they come into the pits? No, they don't.
Connor Young has completely missed the back chicane. He's got no downforce now.
I can tell you, Noy Raider, Duxter, Ronald, Shark, Angry Wolf, none of them into the pits. So, means what? He went on to Inters 2 laps too early. Doomhammer and Morris also on a set of Inters. So they can't be too comfortable. And Moses, for some reason, running around on a set of holds.
Unfortunately, in this game, I've come to learn that if you don't see the DRS being disabled, do not fit those Inters. However bad you think the track is and the handling is, if that magical DRS disablement is not flashing up,
I mean, I have thrown the dice, and I've been lucky once or twice. So, you come out of the pits and 2-3 corners later, it's DRS.
Yes.
And you're like, oh yes. But sometimes it takes 3 or 4 laps, and it's a disaster. So Valandel currently in 6th place. He's got Staffy right behind him. They're separated by 0.3 of a second. Both on identical tyres. Both mediums, 10 laps old. Now let's go.
A little bit deep.
Your leaders have stayed out. Ronald and Jacques have stayed out. Angry Wolf coming into the pits for a set of Inters.
So I can confirm there was contact there between Valandel and Steph.
And that's more than an end plate.
Yeah, Valandel defended the last wall of champion chicane, moved to the right hand side. Steph wanted to go left, and Valandel moved back left. I think that's going to be investigated. Double movement. And by the looks of it, looks like Staffy has picked up some in-play damage.
Staffy's looking for positives. Hopefully towards the end of this lap, DRS will be disabled and he can just pop into the pits anyway.
And now he drives past Valandel that loses it, faces it the wrong way. We just now need to force that wing change and wait for the rain change.
Whatever you do, make sure you select yes. The last thing you want to do is leave the pits and be like, they didn't change my wing.
Yeah, we've all gone through that one.
I don't trust that automatic feature oh, look at that. Staffy's car is hovering. There's no spray coming off that at all. Fantastic.
Yeah, we've all been bitten by that auto no wing change, so yeah.
I mean, the other day in the Friday night race, we had that rain situation, and I was on Inters because it was raining, and I broke a wing. I came in, and they put on a set of dryers and sent me out. And I was like, "What are you doing? I came in for wets." But yeah, it was. Don't trust those settings. Make sure you do it yourself. Plaza, who actually started this race in last place, 16th, he's actually worked his way up into 7th, currently on a set of... Ooh, look at that, Connor Young. Connor Young has got damage. He's driven into the back of Sniffelaza, lost the end plate on the left. And
yeah, looks like he went to go and fit mediums again and now bumped again. So he's having a disastrous race here.
Just what we said in qualifying, you know, he's a really quick driver, but just seems to that time wasn't entirely his fault. He went up into the back of Sniffelaza, who was going a bit slow, but
yeah, he has had that before. He's got such supreme pace that he almost surprises the back markers a bit and ends up in the back of the cars. No fault of their own. So.
We're right now with the leader of this race, Ronald in the racing point. He has not made a pit stop as of yet, still going around on a set of mediums. Surely he'll come in at the end of this lap. Let's actually watch that gap.
Should stay out. He should stay out.
Let's watch that gap.
He's got the right way of doing it now. 12 seconds.
12 seconds. There we go, 11.9. We'll just keep our eyes on that. And the only problem is, you know, it's not the shortest track on the calendar, and you really don't want that DRS disabled sign to pop up into turn 1, because it's a long lap. Yeah, he stays out. But look at that, the gap continues to increase now, 12.3 seconds. So just taking a little bit out of the guys on Inters. Duxter has made his way up into 3rd place.
No, I read a 3-second time penalty. That's now his 2nd one.
I'm not entirely sure of the strategy. I don't know if Jeff
is busy with overtake on Duxter, sorry.
Not a problem, there we go, into turn 1. Besides against it, Duxter runs wide, Jacques comes back. Right there. Close enough. But these conditions will make you second guess yourself more often than not. But Duxter, I wonder if Jeff had anything to do with the strategy, or if maybe it's brilliance, I don't know, but he's on a set of hards. And
set of hards, 2 laps old, strange call.
On a damp track, the last thing you want to do is be on the hardest set of tyres. You want the softest set to get as much grip as you can, and I'm not sure why he's on a set of hards. I wonder if the pit crew just slapped that on and left him in shock.
Jockey going a bit deep, but we still got this. You should have superior traction here on Duxter. Let's see on the home straight.
I wonder now if we may be starting to reach that tipping point. We were what, 12.6, so it is growing, but not by much. I think those Inters are getting up to pace.
Duxter heading back into the pits. Seems like he's made the wrong call.
So of those 3 leaders that were trading first place, only Neureder still in a podium position. Duxter in the pits, so he's losing positions. And Staffy has his hands full. Staffy has his hands full as they approach the chicane, going towards the Wall of Champions. He's got the lead. Oof. He's coming to the pits, there we go. Obviously,
DRS disabled. DRS disabled, boys.
DRS is now disabled. Where is Ronald? If he's close to the pits, he can make the most of this.
He's
not far from
the
pits.
Back straight.
He's on the straight. Can't lose too much time there. So,
oh, and he doesn't go in for some reason.
He stayed out. He stayed out with DRS disabled.
Weird
And I
call
think
there
we're
by
gonna
Ronald.
see that 12-second gap be very compromised by the time Ronald completes this lap.
Could
It's
it be
already
that
down to
Staffy
11.4.
was his teammate in the pits? Did that put him off?
Could have been the reason, but not quite sure what's happening here. Obviously, we just had the one driver that was with us, and that was because he retired in Q2, so he was giving us all sorts of info, but don't have any drivers with us now. Just Staffy coming out on a set of softs, and then commenting on YouTube there that Inters are not on. Well, Neuraider is closing that gap to Ronald. He's taken 2.6 seconds out of him on this lap alone. So
Yeah.
maybe those Inters now coming up to temperature. If that is the case, then Staffy's not going to be a happy man because he just put those softs on a lap ago.
I'm very curious as to why Ronald didn't go, and he was perfectly poised down the home straight to go in and fit and just skipped it.
There we
And it's
go.
literally what costed him.
Well, it cost him 4 seconds. Yeah, it cost him 4 seconds.
You know, the brave call to stay out on the mediums, and he's wiped it out in one lap of.
Stayed out for that one lap too many. That has released Neuraider back into the lead of this race. And before all this pandemonium at the rain began, there was 3 of them, and they were trading first position, and we had quite a race on our hands. But now that we've
just on the back of Ronald,
finally got onto the Inters, Neuraider leads the race by 10 seconds.
Dookster also all over the back of Angry Wolf. Wolf's gonna try and defend for his life now.
I said it in a previous race I commented on, but 46 on a Ferrari, only if Rossi's driving. Otherwise, no. Avalash has left the session, he DNF'd, we didn't see that. But Shark's still in third, he's following Ronald, the Racing Point, with the freshest set of Inters. I wonder if that will come into play. Some of these guys coming in a tad early, doing 3 or 4 laps on the Inters before the track was ready. Maybe if it rains till the end of the race, maybe having that freshest set is going to make the difference. I mean, look at Morris, he's done 9 laps on that set of Inters.
Yeah, Dookster has made a move on the Wolf. Successful overtake there on that hard-braking dead stop right-handed before the back straight. Wolf slightly overbraked and overshot the curve.
Jacques in third place. What he really needs is a win. Currently second in the championship. He's obviously tie on points with Ronald for second place. He's on 68 points with Ronald. So
if Ronald can keep this together, that puts him solidly into second.
Between Ronald and Jacques, whoever finishes ahead of each other in the points, they will go into the next round as your runner-up. As far as beating Duxter goes, I think that's finished.
Yeah, that boat has sold.
Who was your season 1 champion? Was it
Jockey.
Jacques?
He had a dominating season 1, and season 2 not quite up to his high standards.
Not bad, defending champion, currently holding second place, tied second place in the championship. Not too bad of a performance, but I think he knows he's going to have to step up his game for season 3. And don't count Bixter out of it just yet. Still 15 laps to go, and I've seen him come from nowhere to steal podiums. So Moireda still leads, but that comfortable gap he had of 10 seconds now down to 7.9. Falaza obviously getting caught out in the tyre situation. He worked his way up to 6th or 7th at one stage. He's in last again, 14th. Ahead of him, the judge. Ahead of him, you have Staffy. Also getting caught out by the tyres. Obviously initially coming out on Inter's, track wasn't ready. Put on the softs, and then the track was ready. So he's done 3 pit stops and found himself in 12th. Was in a much stronger position just a few laps ago. I think he was up to 5th at one stage. So unfortunate. Should have stayed on the Inters for 2 laps more. Duxa continues to close that gap. It was 15 seconds, now 13.6. So 13 laps. What's that? 14 laps to go, 13-second gap if he wants to get on the podium.
Oh, and Ronald LaRue, a 3-second time penalty. Usually a squeaky clean driver. You don't see that too often.
Sometimes you don't even see him get penalties.
Warnings.
To the penalties, you know. Still get that 1 or 2 warnings. I've actually seen a race where he didn't have a single warning. Which is insane. But I suppose in these conditions, the mistakes do creep in and you're always going to slide that little bit more.
Oh, Connor Young trying to make a movie on Cowboy. Has contact. Both of them off the track in the grass. Just a little tire nudge. And
Connor
he gets
Young.
a 3-second time penalty for his efforts.
That's right, for his efforts, 3-second time penalty. We've actually got someone just joining us here in the stream. What's up, Plonkers? That's Gavin for Mark. I don't know you had YouTube, Gavin. Thought all your time was taken up by other streaming sites. But
other tubes.
other tube related streaming sites. Let's leave it at that.
Ferrari color tube.
Noireda still leads. That gap continues to come down actually. Ronald in a strong position. And I wonder if those pressure tyres are playing their part.
Could be.
That gap now 6.7 seconds. It was 10. So...
Oh, Connor Young, Cowboy. Cowboy closed the racing line on Connor. He tried to squeeze him and Connor just didn't back off.
There we go. Cut across him. Cowboy already had a broken wing, so he'll be able to get away. Morris in
coming
9th.
out of the pits just ahead of Connor Young.
Oh, he got out in 8th. There we go. Connor will have a chance to have a go at him in the next few corners until he gets his tyres up to temperature, but he's having problems of his own. Connor Young making a few mistakes.
He's lost all of his front wing now on that chicane. First the right hand side, then the left hand side.
Absolutely no front wing. Really hope he just drives back to the pits. Don't rage quit.
But what I've seen tonight, I won't be surprised to get some incoming reports to the stewards panel.
Definitely a lot of carbon fiber lying all over the circuit, and
yeah, as you can expect, with the season now coming to the last bits and pieces, the Oaks starting to up their game and the aggression is coming out, and seen a few moves that's opportunistic and might be looked at.
Yeah, I'm pretty grateful not to be a steward at this point. After any wet race, you're pretty glad not to be a steward. Savage Moses, he's had He's had quite an eventful race, but he finds himself in 7th place. I think he'd be happy with that result. Landel in 6th. So also having a good race. I think some of the guys have just, stayed out of trouble. Been luckier on the tyres.
Yeah. Duman making an awesome move on Cowboy.
Not entirely sure about this one, but Connor Young obviously went into the pits to change that front wing. And he's now going to emerge from the pits with a set of softs. And I have seen no evidence to suggest that this track is in any way drying up. So yeah, he's squiggling all over the track. It's pretty much like driving on soap right now, and he's going to have to go in and get another set of inters.
Yeah, I can see a rage quit incoming here. Gut feeling. But let's see.
Hopefully that rage quit does not come on track. But Noi Raider still leading the race. That gap still coming down, not as quickly as it was. But 6.5 seconds between your two leaders. Noi Raider and Ronald.
Moses on Valando, 0.3. He's on the back of him. And I see a yellow flag, sector 2. So someone has come off in front of them. Let's see if that's going to affect this battle. Vision is not that great.
Liza picking up another 3-second time penalty. I think we're going to see some interesting calculations.
Really pressurizing Valando here.
Shark as well.
He outbreaks himself. Holds it together.
Connor Young going very wide there. He's getting lapped. He's getting lapped. He's going to have to get up the straight. Going to have to get up the straight and make this pit stop. But as for now, there is still a battle on for 6th place. Landel doing what he needs to. Covering his... and he's... As I say that, just getting on the power too much, car going sideways. Savage getting through, he's up into 6th place. And both Ferraris in the top 6, I think they'll be pretty happy with that. The way things were going earlier on in the race. We were commenting on their performance, and both in the top 6.
Both of them out of the top 10.
Yeah, that's right. Jock now in 3rd, he's got Cowboy ahead of him, he needs to lap Cowboy.
Yeah,
and the way the penalties are going, too much time. Catching him in an awkward part of the track.
Yeah, just wanted to comment, like last week, the penalties have been coming in thick and fast, so unfortunately won't be able to even do a side calc and see what's gonna happen, but we'll leave that for the after race mathematicians.
Yeah, we'll let the in-game mathematicians work that out for you. Gav asking if the race is wet until the end. I have had no evidence to suggest otherwise. No one told me about it drying up, so I think it will rain till the end. There's 9 laps remaining.
I can confirm, for some reason, Connor Young went into the pits, came out with mediums, and has now rage quitted. I think he's reached his limit.
Okay, I'm just not letting him get onto a set of inters or something going on there. Very strange. Can imagine the frustration.
Yeah, Steph now all over Cowboy, making a move on the inside.
We actually had a driver here at Midweek Racing just last week that he couldn't get a set of tyres on his car. I don't know if you remember that. I think it was Devon.
Devon.
I think it was Devon. He was either trying to get onto a set of inters because it was getting wet, and he'd come in and just drive right through the pits. And then after he did that twice, eventually it started throwing him on the pit straight in neutral. So I know still some surprises in F1 2019.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, this game's still in need of a few patches, and It's been 3 weeks, all quiet, so not
Codemasters
sure what the guys at Codemasters are doing.
they have been quiet. Maybe they also went on the F1 vacation, but been back for a week, so there's some things that need fixing. Ooh, look at this, Duxter getting involved in a lot of traffic now. It's gonna cost him. Now gonna come up behind Staffy.
And Rider goes into the pits for some reason. He's fitted a new set of inters, so
gone onto a brand new set of inters. Down to third for the time being. Let's see what that gap is to the leader. That's gonna be give or take 16 seconds. So
that promotes Jackie into second position. And obviously Ronald.
Remember what I said earlier about Ronald having those extra fresh tyres, and maybe that is going to be what comes into play here. Moire, they just came out right in the middle of the traffic.
Jackie and Cowboy on 14 lap old Inters, and then obviously Dukes the 12 laps.
Fortunately, Neuraider came out in a way that on that opening lap he caught traffic in the chicanes. Now he goes past Staffy getting well out of the way, and he's been released, and he found himself in 4th place. And if none of these guys ahead of him decide to pit, he's going to have to come up with some pretty incredible lap times. Also remember, if these times at the front are close, don't count on that list too much. I really think we're going to have some changes. I've seen 10 seconds, there we go, 3-second penalty. I've seen 10 seconds on my screen, 5 seconds, 3 seconds. There's no way I'm working any of that out. But I'm pretty sure we're still going to see a few position flips here.
But in saying that, we know that we've only seen Ronald being penalized once, so I think if he keeps it together, he's definitely going to be the race winner. But is he going to make those inters last to the end? The jockey now 15 laps old, so that should mean Ronald can make them last.
He's got an extra 4 laps on there, yeah, so I think he could make race distance. Wonder if Jacques can go the entire way, as well as Dixter. But I think Ronald might have just got it just right. And it really came down to him staying out those extra couple of laps, and everyone else came in and put on inters. After all of that, Staffy has somehow found his way back into the points. So he's up into 9.
Yeah, guy with a never say die attitude, so always fighting and clawing his way back, never gives up.
Not really someone you see rage quit. He's there till the end. Very much like Cowboy.
Up, yeah, he's not one of them.
I mean the Judge. Judge, you know, even if he's having a terrible day, wet conditions, if he's slow, if he's been lapped twice, he'll do everything he can in order to finish the race.
He's still having a race, still enjoying it out on the track. So
still out there, he's in 13. Like we say, like that gap there that you see at the front between 2nd and 3rd, that's just 2.2 seconds. Then between 3rd and 4th, 2.3 seconds. Like those gaps could very much change. Unfortunately, we can't race with Duxter.
Yeah.
Because that's what his car sounds like. So let's go back to the Ferrari. Something wrong with Honda power. Sure, Alonso could come up with a few remarks.
Oh, and Duxter now 2.2 from Jockey.
Not far behind. Tyres slightly fresher. Shark's got the oldest set of inters on the circuit. 17 laps old now. Ronald still leads this race, and that gap is 14.4 seconds, so it's a comfortable gap with 4 laps remaining. Duxter's in second, but for how long will he be in second? He's got Neureder behind him. He's just closed that gap to under a second. He's on a fresh set of intermediates. He was leading this race, but he chose to come in, maybe fearing a puncture. But now on the brink of getting back onto the podium.
Yeah, if my memory serves me correct, I think Neureder was the first one to go onto Inter.
Brakes extremely late there. It's all about the
have
effort.
Some acceleration here on Duxter. Let's see if he makes the move here. A little bit far off.
Maybe how late he's willing to brake. Not quite yet.
Oh, and Jackie goes in. Did I check that correct? Yeah, Jack has said that's it. He's into the pits. You can't make those inters last any longer.
Those were the oldest inters on the track. Those were 17 laps old.
Yeah, and he's not far behind on softs, if I can believe.
Yes, that's correct. Jacques has put on a set of softs. I don't see as many raindrops, but I still see spray, so I'm not...
Yeah.
I hope it works out, but I'm not sure. Duxter's got 16 laps on that set of inters. So, if Jacques couldn't go more than 17 laps, then Duxter doesn't have much longer to go on those tyres.
Yeah, Neureder's now harassing him on the inside.
There's contact.
A tank slapper.
Duxter, for the time being, is going to hold on to that position. I didn't see any damage. Let's just change into broadcast.
Because Neureder's front wheel onto Duxter's side pot, so no damage.
No damage there, so no harm done for the time being, but it's not over yet. The Toro Rosso is going to chase that Red Bull. Gap at the front continues to grow.
On this second place driver.
Neureder just 0.2 of a second as he gets to the braking point on that straight. Decides against it for the time being.
Gets himself another 3-second penalty.
And that time it didn't even pop up on my screen, so great.
He's feeling this pressure from Neureder, defending.
Pretty sure Christian Horner would have a heart attack. Imagine Gasly chasing down Verstappen like this in these two cars. Christian Horner would be on the phone very quickly. Well, he's gotten past him, nicely done. Neureder.
I think Duxter has done the wise thing and just released Neureder. No point, Neureder's got superior traction.
Duxter now jumping the chicane. Not sure why, but jumped the chicane.
And meanwhile, let's focus on Ronald. Is he gonna pit? Nah, he says that's it. I'm taking these inters to the end. No point in pitting, then I'm gonna be behind Neureder coming out. So he is gonna make these tires last until the end.
16 laps on that set of inters for Ronald. He's got 2 laps to go. Duxter is into the pits. Duxter is into the pits. Does that mean Jacques is back in podium? He's also got that set of... He's put on a set of mediums. So the track is obviously drying up with just 2 laps to go.
Jackie is gonna end up behind him, but with softs versus mediums, that's also already heated up nicely. DRS enabled, yeah.
DRS is now enabled, and your 2 front men, they have got quite a cushion, but they're on inters. Surely they won't come in. They just...
Now that's gonna be a slip and slide affair right to the end now.
It's not gonna be fun at all, and considering the age of those tires on Ronald's car.
Can you believe 1 lap from the end DRS gets enabled this game?
And he chooses to stay out on the set of inters. So he's going for it. We watched Jacques we watched, I believe it was Angry Wolf, I think it was Angry Wolf. As players were getting to 16, 17 laps, they had to pit. They couldn't stay out any longer. Well, now Ronald is going around on 17 lap old inters, which seems to be their limit on a dry circuit. So
I'm on board with him, and he's really keeping it tight. He's showing no signs of losing this vehicle.
we have the broadcast camera on him, and obviously just needs to take it easy. These cars behind him that have been lapped, they now get into a funny position because they don't want to pass, but if they got someone behind them, just needs to hold it together.
Yeah, now he's only got the wall of champions chicane to negotiate.
Even get out of the way, let the Ferrari unlap itself. Seems like, where's the Ferrari? Ooh, okay. Ferrari almost going off circuit there, doesn't want to do another lap, I suppose. Pulling a bit of Monza, driving off.
Looks like Ronald is gonna do this.
And there's your winner.
Of the season. Great stuff.
And what a win. We thought he initially made a mistake on the inters, but everything worked out. He stayed out when the track was dry and he won that race. Neuraider now comes over the line. He finishes in second. Also finishing on a set of inters.
Now gonna punish anyone on track.
And then Duxter comes over the line.
One. Can you believe it? As we speak, another 3 seconds for Wolf.
Duxter
That's
third.
gonna mean anyone is gonna change position.
Let's have a look now at Shaw. He was 7.5 seconds behind. His penalties just pushed him further back. So that we haven't seen any changes on the podium. Right now with the Angry Wolf up Casino straight for the final time. For the 35th time this evening. Goes over the line to register 5th place. And 12 points in the championship. Or is it 10? Might be 10.
Curiously enough, it looks like most of the drivers retain their positions, regardless of all the penalties, so could only mean everyone has accumulated an equal amount of penalties.
Judge finishing his race as well in 13th, and that's the end of proceedings. 35 laps of a very interesting Gilles Villeneuve circuit. As your winner, it was Ronald. I really thought he had made a mistake. He had stayed out too long. But fantastic job, and then just the gap was big enough for him to hold it on that final lap. Very nicely done to all the drivers, especially to everyone who finished. Every time it rains, these things can become difficult. I'm just actually waiting to see the screen. I want to see some of these penalties.
Yeah, I can confirm that Duxter has only ended up in 2.1 seconds behind Neuraider because of a 9-second difference in penalties.
Nothing too bad. Actually, the biggest penalty there is 15, so I was expecting more. So there's your winner. Just to confirm, Ronald winning 4 racing point. Nicely done. Neuraider second. Duxter third. That's your podium. Then Jacques 4th. Angry Wolf 5th. Morris 6th. Savage 7th. Landel 8th. Staffy 9th. Getting into the points there. Sniffleizer 10th. Doom 11th. Cowboy 12th. And Judge 13th. They're not classified. Connor Young, Avalas, and Devon. So there we go.
Yeah,
there you have it. Thank you.
What a race.
Another Tuesday night. The season is it's racing on. It's almost over. It's almost time to talk about season 3. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. And I'm not sure who will be commentating. If you'll hear from me next week, I'm not sure, but whoever it is, channel will be live same time next week, and hope to see you then. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks. Cheers. See you next week, guys.